Love is a wonderful thing, but it's not always simple. There are moments when you feel like you understand everything, but then there are times when you feel confused and lost. So how do you overcome the challenges of love? On the surface, women may seem open and expressive, but there are hidden layers of their emotional world that they rarely reveal. Beneath every smile, every glance, and every silence lies a truth they often keep guarded, not out of secrecy, but out of vulnerability. Understanding these hidden truths is not about prying into mysteries. It is about learning to listen, to notice, and to connect on a deeper level. In this journey, we will uncover 7 powerful psychological secrets women rarely speak aloud but deeply wish you understood. Welcome to the channel, Stoic Love Wisdom. This is where we will learn, explore, and share valuable lessons about love. In today's video, I will reveal to you 7 psychological secrets women never tell you, a new perspective to help you better understand the factors that determine a happy and sustainable relationship. Let's explore with me the secrets to building a strong and meaningful love. Before we begin, find a quiet place, put on your headphones and relax. Let all your worries go away, and let the messages in this video help you calm down and feel the most complete. Are you ready? Let's start now. Secret 1. Women are extremely sensitive to even small changes in your emotions. Many men believe that as long as they are silent, they are safe. They think that if they do not express anger, sadness, or distance with words, women will not notice. In reality, women are masters at reading between the lines, sensing the subtle shifts in your tone, your eyes, your body language, and even the way you breathe. It is not an exaggeration to say that women have an emotional radar that is constantly active, even when they appear relaxed or distracted. This incredible sensitivity is deeply rooted in both biology and social conditioning. For centuries, women have had to rely on emotional intelligence to navigate complex social environments. Reading emotions accurately often meant survival, security, and maintaining social bonds. Over time, this ability became instinctive, a silent language that most women understand without needing to put it into words. Imagine this scenario. You come home after a long day at work. You are exhausted and frustrated, but you do not want to burden her with your problems. You force a smile, you say everything is fine, but your energy has shifted. Your hug feels a little less warm. Your eyes avoid hers for just a second longer than usual. You do not laugh at her jokes the way you normally do. To you, these are minor details. To her, they are alarm bells ringing in her mind. She may not confront you immediately. Instead, she will internalize these signals, turning them over in her mind, wondering what happened. Is he upset with me? Did I do something wrong? Is there something he is hiding? Her imagination may begin to fill the blanks with fears and insecurities. Without even realizing it, the emotional connection between you and her starts to erode, not because of what you said, but because of what you unconsciously showed. It is important to understand that women do not expect you to be emotionless. In fact, they feel closer to you when you share your authentic emotions. What they fear is the feeling of being shut out, the silent wall that separates two hearts that used to beat in sync. When you act differently but refuse to acknowledge it, it creates confusion and insecurity. Transparency and openness are what maintain emotional intimacy. Being sensitive to a woman's emotional radar does not mean you need to explain every little mood swing. It simply means acknowledging the reality of your own feelings. If you are upset, you do not have to give a long speech about it. Sometimes, a simple, honest sentence like, "I had a rough day, but it has nothing to do with you," is enough to ease her mind. She is not demanding perfection. She is seeking connection, reassurance that the bond between you remains strong even through the storms of daily life. Many men feel pressured to always appear strong, composed, and unaffected. They believe that vulnerability will make them seem weak. However, In the eyes of a woman who truly loves you, your willingness to be emotionally honest actually makes you stronger, not weaker. It shows that you trust her enough to let her in. It shows that you respect her enough to be real. And it shows that you value the emotional bridge between you enough to maintain it with truth and courage. On the flip side, consistently hiding your emotions or pretending that everything is fine when it is not can have long-term consequences. Women sense emotional distance long before it is verbalized. If they feel ignored, invalidated, or shut out repeatedly, they will eventually start to withdraw emotionally as well. Over time, this invisible wall grows higher and thicker, until one day, it may feel like you are living with a stranger. True emotional connection is not built on perfection. It is built on authenticity. It is built on those small moments when you let your guard down just enough to let her see your true heart. It is built on mutual recognition of each other's inner worlds, even when words are not enough to capture everything that is happening inside. If you want to build a strong, lasting relationship with a woman, learn to pay attention to the subtle signals you are sending. Be aware that your energy, your attentiveness, your presence, and even your silences speak volumes. When you feel something, be courageous enough to acknowledge it. When you notice her sensing a change, do not dismiss her intuition. Respect it. Honor it. Meet it with honesty rather than defensiveness. Remember, for a woman who loves you, your emotions are not a burden. They are a bridge. They are an invitation to deepen the bond between two souls. When you allow her to understand you, not just the surface, but the deeper layers, you give her the greatest gift of all, the gift of true intimacy. Women are not looking for flawless men. They are looking for men who are real. Men who are brave enough to feel, brave enough to express, and brave enough to connect. And it is often in the smallest, most unspoken moments that love either grows stronger or quietly fades away. If you find this video useful, don't hesitate to like and share your thoughts in the comments section. I would love to know what you think about today's topic. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any upcoming interesting videos. Secret 2. They crave to feel safe, but will rarely admit it. At the core of every woman's heart lies a profound need, the desire to feel safe. It is not always about physical safety, although that is important too. It is about emotional safety, the sense that she can trust you with her vulnerabilities, her dreams, her fears, and her flaws without being judged, belittled, or betrayed. This need for safety is so deeply ingrained that many women are not even fully aware of how much it drives their feelings and decisions. Yet, despite its importance, most women will never openly admit just how vital it is to them. Society often paints an image of the modern woman as fiercely independent, self-sufficient, and emotionally resilient. While there is truth to this portrayal, it does not erase the human need for connection and protection. Independence does not mean the absence of emotional needs. In fact, sometimes the stronger and more capable a woman appears on the outside, the deeper her longing for a safe emotional space on the inside. Feeling safe means many things to a woman. It means knowing that she can express herself without fear of being mocked or misunderstood. It means trusting that you will not weaponize her vulnerabilities during an argument. It means feeling assured that when she shares her truest self with you, you will embrace her rather than withdraw or judge. It means she can relax her guard, take off the armor she wears in the outside world, and simply be herself without pretense. Imagine a woman who spends her days navigating a competitive career, managing expectations from family and society, and dealing with the daily microaggressions that often go unnoticed. When she comes to you, what she craves most is not another battle or performance. She craves refuge. A place where her spirit can rest. A relationship where she does not have to constantly prove her worth. Yet, she will rarely say this out loud. Why? Because admitting this need can feel like admitting weakness. It exposes her to the risk of disappointment and betrayal. If she asks for safety and does not receive it, the pain would be even greater. So instead, she may drop hints, test your reactions, and observe how you handle her moments of vulnerability. She watches how you react when she shares her fears. She notices whether you listen with empathy or dismiss her concerns. She feels the difference between you hearing her words and truly understanding her emotions. In every interaction, consciously or not, she is gathering evidence. Is this man a safe place for my heart? Providing emotional safety does not require grand gestures or endless sacrifices. It is found in the small, consistent acts that build trust over time. It is in the way you keep your promises, even the small ones. It is in the patience you show when she struggles to explain something. It is in the way you respect her boundaries and honor her feelings, even when you do not fully understand them. One of the most powerful ways to create emotional safety is to validate her emotions without immediately trying to fix them. Many men, upon hearing about a woman's struggles, rush into solution mode. While the intention is good, what she often needs more than solutions is to feel seen and heard. Sometimes the most healing words you can say are simple. That sounds really hard. I am here for you. These words build a bridge of trust stronger than any advice could. Another crucial element of emotional safety is consistency. A woman feels safe not because you are perfect, but because you are reliable. Your words match your actions. Your affection does not fluctuate based on your mood. Your presence is a steady force she can rely on, especially when the world around her feels unpredictable. Creating safety also means being emotionally available yourself. When you share your thoughts, your dreams, your own struggles, you show her that she is not alone in her vulnerability. Emotional intimacy is not a one-way street. It is built when both partners are willing to remove their masks and meet each other in their authentic selves. Understand that when a woman feels safe with you, her love deepens in ways you cannot imagine. She becomes more open, more affectionate, more trusting. She blooms in your presence because she knows she is not in a battlefield but in a sanctuary. The woman who feels truly safe with you will give you a version of herself that the rest of the world will never see. However, if she repeatedly feels unsafe, if her emotions are invalidated, her trust betrayed, or her vulnerabilities mocked, she will slowly begin to retreat. She may remain physically present, but emotionally, she will start to build walls. And once a woman builds those walls, it becomes incredibly hard to break them down again. In the end, emotional safety is not just a gift you give to her. It is a foundation for a relationship that nourishes both of you. A love built on emotional safety is resilient, passionate, and deeply fulfilling. It weathers storms because both partners know they are not alone. They know they have each other's hearts, protected and cherished. Women may rarely say it out loud. They may wrap it in silence, in strength, in careful tests. But if you listen closely, you will hear it. If you pay attention, you will see it. Behind every glance, every hesitation, every quiet moment of trust, there is a silent question being asked: am I safe with you? Answer it with your actions. Answer it with your heart. And you will unlock a depth of love that few ever experience. If you are still watching this video, do not hesitate to comment, continue, to let me know. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comments section below. I look forward to hearing from you, and do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel so that I have more motivation to create more good and meaningful videos. Let's continue together. Secret 3. They want you to be the initiator, even if they seem independent. In today's world, many women pride themselves on their independence. They build successful careers, travel alone, make decisions confidently, and carry themselves with undeniable strength. It is easy to look at such women and believe they do not need anyone, that they are fully self-sufficient emotionally and practically. However, beneath this independence often lies a truth few will openly admit: they still deeply appreciate and desire a man who takes the lead in the relationship. Initiation is not about control or dominance. It is about showing care, attention, and a willingness to invest effort into building the connection. When a man initiates, whether it is reaching out first, planning a date, making a thoughtful gesture, or simply expressing affection without being prompted, it sends a powerful, unspoken message. It says, "You are important to me. I am choosing you. I am willing to move toward you." This active pursuit speaks to a woman's deep emotional needs in a way that words alone cannot. It reassures her that she does not have to carry the emotional burden of the relationship alone. It tells her that she can rest, at least for a moment, from always having to be the strong one. Imagine a woman who is used to making decisions all day long. At work, she leads meetings, solves problems, and handles responsibilities. In her personal life, she manages her finances, plans her vacations, and takes care of herself. She is capable, no doubt. But when she is with a man she cares about, what she often craves is not another opportunity to lead. She craves the comfort of knowing that someone else is willing to take the reins, at least sometimes. When you initiate, you give her the gift of softness. You allow her to relax her armor, to lean into the relationship without fear of being left alone to carry all the weight. Even simple acts, like choosing the restaurant for dinner or surprising her with a weekend plan, can mean the world to her. It shows attentiveness. It shows thoughtfulness. Most importantly, it shows desire. Many men hesitate to take initiative, fearing they might appear controlling or that they might intrude on a woman's independence. But healthy initiation is not about forcing decisions onto her. It is about offering, about leading with an open hand rather than a closed fist. It is suggesting, not demanding. It is creating opportunities for connection, not dictating the terms of the relationship. A woman still wants to feel that she has a voice, that her preferences matter. She wants to be considered, respected, and included. But she also wants to feel desired enough that you are willing to make an effort without her always having to ask. Silent waiting, passive responses, and reluctance to act often lead her to question your level of interest. When a woman constantly has to initiate conversations, plan meetings, or express affection first, she eventually feels unvalued. It becomes emotionally exhausting. She may start to wonder if she is chasing you, if the connection is one-sided, if your feelings are fading. Doubt creeps in not because you said the wrong words, but because you did not act when it mattered. Taking initiative also builds trust. It shows her that she can rely on you. It demonstrates consistency, a key element in creating emotional safety. When you are the one who reaches out after a disagreement, who plans the next date, or who says, "I miss you," without prompting, you ease her fears and reinforce the bond between you. Moreover, initiation awakens a woman's feminine energy. When you lead, you allow her to step into her natural state of receptivity, softness, and emotional openness. Many women deeply long for this polarity but feel forced to suppress it in a world that demands constant strength. Your leadership gives her permission to embrace her vulnerability, her joy, her nurturing side without fear of judgment. It is not about grand, dramatic gestures. It is the consistent, small actions that matter most. A text to say you are thinking about her. A call to set up the next meeting. A thoughtful comment that shows you remember what she likes. A plan that says, "I want to spend time with you, and I am willing to make it happen." Understand this. Initiation is not a burden you carry alone. It is a dance. Sometimes you lead, sometimes she responds and leads in her way. But by taking the first step, you set the tone. You create momentum. You breathe life into the connection. A woman who feels pursued, cherished, and chosen responds with warmth, affection, and deeper emotional investment. She blossoms under the light of your active attention. But a woman who feels she has to carry the relationship by herself will eventually grow tired, distant, and cold. If you truly care about a woman, show her. Not just with words, but with actions. Initiate without fear. Lead with kindness. Take the small risks that say, I see you. I choose you. I want you. In doing so, you will earn a loyalty, a love, and a depth of connection that many men only dream of. Secret 4. They are afraid of being judged, so they often hide their hurt. Women are naturally emotional beings, deeply connected to their feelings and the world around them. However, despite this emotional richness, many women have learned to conceal their true pain, to bury their wounds behind a mask of strength, humor, or indifference. This is not because they feel less. It is because they fear being judged, misunderstood, or worse, seen as weak. From a young age, many women receive subtle messages from society that emotions are burdensome. They are often told to stop being so sensitive, toughen up, or not take things so personally. Over time, these messages sink deep into their subconscious, creating a belief that showing pain will lead to ridicule, rejection, or loss of respect. As a result, when a woman is hurt, she may not express it openly. Instead, she might become quieter. She might laugh a little too brightly. She might brush it off with a casual, "I'm fine," even though her heart is quietly breaking inside. She builds emotional walls not because she wants to shut you out, but because she is protecting herself from being further wounded. Imagine a woman who has shared something vulnerable with someone in the past, only to be met with dismissal or criticism. The memory of that moment lingers. It teaches her that vulnerability is dangerous. That showing hurt will not be met with understanding but with judgment. So even when she trusts you, there is a part of her that hesitates, a part that asks, will he really care? Will he see me differently if I let him see my pain? This is why emotional sensitivity and patience are so crucial in a relationship. It is not enough to assume that if she does not speak about her hurt, she is unaffected. In many cases, silence speaks louder than words. A withdrawn gaze, a change in tone, or a sudden distance can all be signs that something inside her is hurting. To create a space where she feels safe enough to share her true feelings, you must cultivate an environment of non-judgment. This means listening without rushing to conclusions. It means resisting the urge to minimize her feelings or offer quick fixes. Sometimes, she does not need a solution. She needs to know that her pain is valid. That her emotions are welcome, not a burden. One of the most powerful phrases you can offer a woman who is hurting is simple, "I understand this is important to you. I am here for you." These words open doors that logic and arguments can never reach. They tell her that you are a safe harbor for her emotions, a place where she can be raw and real without fear of judgment. Understand also that women are not looking for men to carry their pain for them. They are fully capable of healing their own wounds. What they seek is a partner who honors their emotional experiences, who stands with them rather than against them. A man who can hold space for a woman's hurt without trying to erase it will earn a trust deeper than any grand gesture can achieve. Unfortunately, many men, uncomfortable with the intensity of female emotions, respond with defensiveness or impatience. They may dismiss her feelings as overreactions or irrational fears. What they fail to realize is that in doing so, they are not only invalidating her emotions but also closing the door to deeper intimacy. When a woman senses that her emotions are not welcome, she learns to retreat. She stops sharing her inner world. She becomes guarded, self-protective, and distant. The emotional closeness that once flourished between you withers away, replaced by a polite but empty connection. On the other hand, when a woman feels accepted, when she feels seen in her most vulnerable moments, she opens her heart wider. She trusts more deeply. She loves more fiercely. She gives a version of herself that is authentic, radiant, and fully alive. If you truly want to understand a woman, learn to read the silences between her words. Pay attention to the emotions behind her smiles. Notice when her laughter feels a little forced or her energy feels a little dimmer. These are the hidden places where her true feelings live. When you notice her hiding her hurt, approach with gentleness. Ask her if she is okay, but do so without pressure. Let her know that you are available to listen whenever she is ready. Sometimes, just knowing that you care enough to notice is enough to begin healing the unseen wounds. Emotional courage is not just about facing your own fears. It is about holding space for the fears and hurts of those you love. It is about being strong enough to witness another person's pain without shrinking away. When you offer this kind of strength to a woman, you become not just her lover, but her sanctuary. Women hide their hurt not because they are weak, but because they have been strong for too long. When you give her permission to be vulnerable without fear, you are giving her a priceless gift. You are saying, "You do not have to be perfect with me. You are enough, just as you are." And in return, she will give you a loyalty, a tenderness, and a love so profound that it will forever change the way you understand connection. Secret 5. They often test you to see if you really care. Many men find themselves confused when women seem to create small challenges or act unpredictably in relationships. One day she is warm and affectionate, and the next she seems distant or slightly critical. At first glance, it might feel frustrating or even unfair. However, beneath these seemingly puzzling behaviors lies a hidden truth. Women often test you not to play games, but to seek reassurance that your care and commitment are genuine. These tests are rarely conscious or strategic. They are instinctive, subtle, and emotional. A woman tests because she needs to know, deep in her heart, that you are consistent, dependable, and truly invested in her. It is not enough for her to hear you say you care. She needs to feel it through your actions, especially when circumstances are not perfect. Think of it this way. If everything in a relationship only functions smoothly when things are easy, what happens when challenges arise? Can she trust you to stay steady when life gets complicated? Will you be there when she is not at her best? These are the unspoken questions her subconscious mind is trying to answer. Testing comes in many forms. She might disagree with you over something minor just to see how you handle conflict. She might withdraw emotionally to see if you notice and reach out. She might express insecurity about herself to see if you will comfort or criticize her. None of these actions are designed to punish you. They are invitations to prove your care, even when it is inconvenient or uncomfortable. For example, if she picks a small fight over something trivial, she is not necessarily trying to create drama. She may be seeking to see if you will respond with patience or if you will dismiss her feelings. If she becomes distant, she may be testing whether you will pursue her or simply give up and walk away. Every response you give provides her with emotional information about the safety and depth of your connection. It is important to approach these moments with emotional intelligence rather than defensiveness. Instead of reacting with irritation or anger, pause and recognize what is truly happening. Underneath her behavior, she is asking, "Are you really here for me? Can I trust your love when things are not easy?" Passing these tests does not mean being perfect. It means being present. It means choosing patience over pride. It means offering reassurance without resentment. A simple act of staying calm, expressing understanding, and reaffirming your care can dissolve her doubts faster than any argument ever could. When a woman tests you, she is giving you an opportunity, not a punishment. She is inviting you to show her your strength of character. She wants to see that your feelings are not shallow or conditional. She wants to believe that when she exposes her vulnerabilities, whether through anger, sadness, or insecurity, you will not run away or retaliate, but stay grounded and supportive. Of course, there is a difference between healthy testing and toxic manipulation. If a woman constantly creates chaos, manipulates your emotions, or intentionally tries to hurt you, that is not love seeking reassurance. That is dysfunction. A healthy woman tests subtly, occasionally, and from a place of seeking connection, not control. When you respond well to her emotional tests, you build a profound level of trust. You show her that she does not have to constantly defend herself. That she can lean on you. That she can surrender her deepest fears knowing you will not exploit or abandon her. This kind of trust is rare and precious. It forms the bedrock of a lasting, passionate, and fulfilling relationship. Furthermore, when you pass her tests, something beautiful happens. She relaxes. Her guard lowers. Her affection deepens. She no longer feels the need to test because you have proven yourself not through grand words but through consistent, caring actions. You become her safe place, her emotional anchor. In a world where so many promises are broken and so many hearts are wounded, a woman cannot afford to blindly trust every word or every initial show of affection. Her tests are her way of protecting her heart, ensuring that she gives her love to someone worthy. Do not fear the tests. Welcome them as signs that she cares enough to hope. Respond with steadiness. Respond with patience. Show her, through your presence and your actions, that she has chosen well. The man who can pass a woman's silent tests with grace and understanding will not only win her trust. He will win her deepest loyalty, her truest affection, and a love that stands firm through every trial life brings. Secret 6. They pay close attention to small things more than you realize. In the grand dance of relationships, many men believe that big gestures are what matter most. They focus on planning impressive dates, buying lavish gifts, or saying the right words at major milestones. While these actions are appreciated, what often goes unnoticed is that women are quietly paying far more attention to the small, everyday things. It is in the tiny, seemingly insignificant moments that their hearts are won, or lost. Women have an incredible ability to notice the details. They observe how you look at them when you think they are not watching. They catch the hesitation in your voice when you are distracted. They feel the difference between a hug that is mechanical and a hug that is filled with genuine warmth. Their emotional radar is finely tuned to pick up not just what you do, but how you do it. This heightened awareness is not a deliberate effort. It is natural, almost instinctive. Women are wired to look for emotional cues, to seek out the small signs that reveal the true nature of your feelings. A single thoughtful gesture, a kind word spoken casually, a moment of sincere attentiveness, these are the things that leave a lasting imprint on her heart. For example, when you remember the name of her favorite coffee, when you notice she is wearing a new dress without her having to point it out, when you send a text just to say you are thinking of her without any specific reason, these moments matter. They tell her that you are paying attention. That she is not just a background figure in your life, but someone who truly occupies space in your mind and heart. Conversely, when you consistently overlook the small things, a woman starts to feel invisible. When you forget important dates, fail to notice her efforts, or seem indifferent to her emotional shifts, it chips away at her sense of being valued. She may not confront you directly about it, but over time, the accumulation of these small hurts creates distance. The irony is that many men miss these opportunities because they underestimate their power. They focus on grand declarations while ignoring the quiet affirmations that occur in everyday interactions. Yet, it is these small affirmations that build the strongest emotional foundations. A woman feels love not just when you say, "I love you," but when your actions silently confirm it throughout the day. She feels cherished when you reach for her hand while walking. She feels seen when you ask about something she mentioned in passing weeks ago. She feels understood when you respond to her moods with sensitivity rather than impatience. The small things also reveal your character. They show whether you are attentive, thoughtful, and emotionally present. They demonstrate whether you care enough to notice her needs even when she does not voice them. In a world where so many people are distracted, a man who is fully present becomes rare and precious. Being attentive to the small things does not require perfection or constant effort. It requires mindfulness. It requires slowing down enough to truly see her, to listen not just to her words but to her silences, her expressions, her subtle shifts in energy. It requires cultivating the habit of being emotionally available, not just physically present. When you make this a part of who you are, you create a relationship environment where love is not something that has to be constantly questioned or demanded. It becomes a natural, steady current that flows between you, nourishing both hearts in ways that grand gestures alone never could. Understand that women do not expect you to be a mind reader. They do not demand flawless attention. What they seek is effort, consistency, and sincerity. They want to feel that you notice because you care, not because you feel obligated. The beauty of focusing on the small things is that it deepens intimacy organically. Every time you notice and respond to her unspoken needs, every time you offer a kindness without being asked, every time you show up emotionally even in the mundane moments, you are weaving threads of trust, affection, and security into the fabric of your relationship. Over time, these threads create a bond so strong that it can withstand the inevitable storms of life. They create a love that is not based on drama or constant validation but on the quiet certainty that you are truly, deeply connected. So pay attention. Notice the small things. Celebrate her quiet victories. Comfort her silent hurts. Appreciate her everyday beauty. It is in the little moments that the greatest loves are built. When a woman feels seen in the small things, she feels profoundly loved. And when she feels profoundly loved, she will give you a depth of loyalty, affection, and passion that is beyond anything you could ever create through grand gestures alone. Secret 7. Their feelings for you can fade silently if they feel unappreciated. Love does not usually disappear in an explosion. More often, it fades quietly, slowly, almost imperceptibly, like a candle that burns out not because of a gust of wind but because it is left unattended. For women, one of the most common reasons their feelings begin to fade is the persistent sense of being unappreciated. It does not happen overnight. It happens in the accumulation of small moments when they feel unseen, unheard, and taken for granted. In the beginning of a relationship, everything feels alive. Compliments flow easily. Affection is abundant. Effort is natural and spontaneous. But as time passes, familiarity can breed complacency. What once felt exciting becomes routine. What was once praised is now expected. The small acts of kindness she offered so willingly begin to feel unnoticed. The emotional energy she pours into the relationship starts to feel like a one-way street. A woman's heart is nourished by appreciation. It is the emotional oxygen that keeps her love for you alive and vibrant. Appreciation does not always require grand gestures. It often lives in the simplest expressions: thank you, a thoughtful touch, a look that says, I see you and I value you. When these moments of recognition disappear, a woman does not immediately become angry or resentful. Instead, she often becomes silent. She pulls back emotionally. She shares a little less. She smiles a little less brightly. She stops trying as hard. Not because she wants revenge, but because her heart is quietly giving up hope that you still truly value her. She tells herself she should not need constant appreciation. She reminds herself to be patient. But inside, a subtle sadness grows. A loneliness that has nothing to do with physical presence but everything to do with emotional absence. The tragedy is that many men do not notice this slow withdrawal until it is too late. They see the signs. Less communication, less affection, less warmth, but they misinterpret them. They think she has simply lost interest or changed without reason. They do not realize that her fading feelings are not the cause but the result of prolonged emotional neglect. Appreciation is not about flattery or empty compliments. It is about seeing her efforts and acknowledging them sincerely. It is about noticing the little things she does, the way she supports you, the way she cares for you, the way she tries to make your life better, and letting her know that you do not take her for granted. It can be as simple as thanking her for listening to you after a tough day. It can be telling her that you admire her strength or that you love how she makes you laugh. It can be texting her during a busy day just to say you miss her. These small acts of appreciation accumulate, creating an emotional bank account that sustains love through the inevitable stresses and strains of life. On the other hand, when a woman feels consistently unappreciated, her emotional bank account slowly drains. Even if there are no major fights, no betrayals, no obvious problems, the lack of appreciation creates a void. And into that void seeps doubt, sadness, and eventually detachment. One of the saddest truths is that by the time a woman decides to leave emotionally, she has often endured months or even years of silent fading. By the time she walks away physically, her heart has already been gone for a long time. And when she reaches that point, words alone cannot bring her back. Apologies, promises, and regrets feel hollow because they are coming too late. The good news is that you can prevent this slow erosion of love by making appreciation a daily practice. It does not require perfection. It requires mindfulness. It requires noticing the good rather than only pointing out the flaws. It requires remembering that love, once won, must still be nurtured. When you make a woman feel appreciated, she thrives. She becomes more affectionate, more giving, more open. She feels safe to express her love fully because she knows it is valued. The entire dynamic of the relationship shifts from obligation to joyful giving, from silent withdrawal to vibrant connection. Understand that a woman does not stop loving easily. Her heart is resilient and patient. But even the strongest heart needs to be fed. Even the deepest love needs to be acknowledged. When you consistently appreciate her, not just for what she does but for who she is, you create a bond that time, distance, and challenges cannot easily break. Never assume she knows how much she means to you. Tell her. Show her. Remind her through your words and actions that she is cherished, respected, and deeply valued. Appreciation is the language of lasting love. Speak it often, and you will find that the flame between you never has to fade. Love fades silently, but it can also grow stronger every day with conscious care. Choose to nourish it. Choose to appreciate her. Choose to keep the flame alive. Conclusion. Understanding women is not about unraveling a mystery or decoding a complex set of rules. It is about recognizing that beneath their strength, independence, and grace, women carry deep emotional needs that are often unspoken. The 7 secrets we have explored are not games or manipulations. They are reflections of genuine desires, to feel seen, safe, valued, and emotionally connected. Women notice the small things. They sense changes in your emotions. They long for your initiative even when they seem self-sufficient. They hide their pain out of fear of judgment. They test you not to cause conflict, but to seek reassurance. They cherish every quiet gesture of attention. And most importantly, their love can fade quietly when appreciation is missing. These truths call for a deeper level of awareness, presence, and emotional maturity. Loving a woman well is not about perfection. It is about showing up consistently with sincerity, patience, and care. It is about listening when she does not speak, noticing when she seems distant, and appreciating her not only for what she does but for who she is. When you understand these unspoken truths and respond to them with genuine action, you create a bond built on trust, respect, and enduring affection. You become the man she does not have to test, the man she feels safe to love without reservation. In a world where many relationships fade under the weight of neglect and misunderstanding, choosing to love consciously and attentively makes all the difference. Remember, the deepest love stories are written not in grand declarations, but in the quiet, consistent moments when two hearts truly see and cherish each other. So today's video has ended. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the end. I hope you have found valuable lessons and that these shares will help you on your love journey. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to receive more interesting content in the future. I am very grateful for your support and I will see you in the next videos. I wish you always full of love and happiness.